Good morning everyone, and welcome to Zonar ELD training. I am your safety manager at AA Express, and I will go over the ELD tablets that we use currently in our fleet. Alright, to get started, the truck does have to be running. So in order for this unit to work properly, the truck does have to be on and running. Otherwise, you may experience some problems. Alright, to get started, on the top left corner you have your power button, you have your volume buttons on the left side, you have your GPS indicator light on the bottom left as well. If it's green, that means it is okay. If it's blue, that means the unit is undocked and it does not have a GPS signal. And if it's red, it means that it has timed out. But not to worry, it may come back. You just have to drive a little bit and it will recalculate any miles and hours and minutes driven. Alright, on the left hand side here you have your back button, you have your home button, and you have your menu button. Alright, in order to use these buttons, obviously we're in the home screen right now where you have your messaging on the left, you have your navigation, and you have your Zonar logs on the right. So if we click home, nothing will happen. If we click the back button, not much will happen either. Alright, so here's the menu button, and you have a couple of options: settings and Wi-Fi. You have your messaging here, you have your time. You can also set a alarm clock if wanted. This is your menu button right here where it takes you to the tablet's menu. Just so you know, you cannot use a lot of these functions. It is strictly ELD related, so a lot of this will not work, but there is stuff on here like Z-Logs where you can get some help in regards to your logbook if you have some hours of service questions, etc., etc. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit the home button again and bring us back to our home. Alright, so the messaging, very simple. You click on the messaging, it works like any messaging software out there for Androids. You have your inbox, unread, sent, outbox, and trash. You can form a new message, and you can go text, and you can write whatever you would really want to. So let's say hello, and you have your send button on the right side here. We're gonna hit send, and it's going to send this message off. Now this message is sent now, and everybody that has access to ground traffic control will be able to see your message. So you know, if you have a specific dispatcher, he'll be able to see it, but if he's not there, the other dispatchers and or safety personnel will see this message and will be able to get back to you. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit the home button. The navigation is pretty much like your regular navigation. You set a destination, you set your vehicle preference. It does have truck routes and truck options, so you definitely want to select that and you'll be good from there. Let's go ahead and adjust this brightness a little bit. Alright, so this is the brightest the unit will get. It is a sunny day, so it's kind of glaring back at us, but not too bad. I can still see everything. Let's go ahead and Zonar logs. Alright, right now it's telling me I have to verify and certify logs. Now this will say this message every day. You do have the option to do later and verify and submit all your logs after 14 days. It will force you to verify those logs. Right now it says logs to certify. You have 7 logs to certify and submit. So let's go ahead. We can do later or certify now. We're going to go ahead and submit certify now. Alright, and now it's showing me that I was off duty 1/18/2019. That is correct, so we're going to hit agree and submit. It's asking the same thing for 1/19, 1/20, 1/21, 1/22, 23, 24, and today's date. Alright, so now we are in the logbook grid. Alright, to start off, this is your today's view. Every time you go into logbooks, it'll give you today's view. Today, we can switch to 8-day view. You can scroll down, you see your last 7 days and today's date. I'm gonna hit today. Today I have 11-hour drive time, 14-hour work day, 70-hour work week. I have driven a total of 0 miles today, and I have used a total of 0 personal conveyance miles. And this is your off-duty clock. It's been off-duty for 177 hours and 34 minutes. Right here, it would show you how many hours you will gain after you're 70 years up and you're cycling your hours. For the drivers that prefer to do that, there is a capability of that. You can also do a 8-2 split with ELD now. So it must consist of 8 continuous hours in sleeper berth and 2 hours either off duty or sleeper berth within that day. Alright, so this is the grid view. We can select list view, and it will show you any edits that you have done today or prior. But we have no edits, so we're going to go back to grid. Right here on this top corner we have currently it says safety on there, but this is where your name would show up. If you select this, it would show you all your information. The safety manager, which would be the name, driver CDL number, carrier name, carrier DOT, shift start time midnight, home terminal, etc. Alright, we're going to go ahead and hit the back button to exit out of this. Alright, and now in the top left corner you have your 3 bars, which is a drop down menu. If we select these 3 bars, we'll have roadside view, update duty status, trailer load details, driving exemptions, unidentified driving, certify logs, and verify edits. You can also run a self-diagnostics check in case this unit is not functioning, but for the most part you can just call the safety office and we can try to resolve it in-house. And if we cannot resolve it, then we will give Zonar a call, and Zonar is usually able to help us out. They are very quick, and they do have a awesome troubleshooting department, and they can definitely help in a lot of situations. Alrighty, so to get started with this menu, we're going to go ahead and select roadside view. Roadside view is for your DOT inspections. So let's say you are being DOT'd. Nobody is supposed to edit this logbook besides you. So what this does, it grays out all your logbooks. It brings today's logbook and the last 7 days. It goes back to the 18th. Today's the 25th, so it goes back 7 days. Alright, and we have all your information here. If you would be attached to a load, you would have that load information. You have carrier information, driver. If you're in a team, you will have the co-driver, trailer information, and load details, and then obviously your hours and any edits that you have done. So we're going to go ahead and hit the back button. Now this is the tricky part here. When you hit the back button, you are not able to access the main menu until you put in your code. So you will put in your driver code and hit done, and then you hit OK, and it brings you back to the normal screen. Reason why they do that is so that way nobody can mess with your logbook while it's in their hands. Technically this should never leave your hands, but when you have a DOT inspection, they will ask sometimes to look at your electronic logbook, and that's when you would put it in roadside view. Obviously green means it's okay, red you are in violation, blue and is special duty status, such as your personal conveyance. Now our personal conveyance rule is 50 miles. The company allows you to drive for 50 miles under personal conveyance. PC law has been changing quite a bit, so definitely try to stay informed by either contacting the safety department and or contacting FMCSA via their website. They do have great documentation on any new regulations that have come out for personal conveyance. Alright, so let's go back to this drop down menu. The second one is update duty status. So let's go ahead and select this. Alright, and now when we go to update duty status, you can see we have our off-duty, sleeper berth, drive, and on-duty statuses. The odometer, since this unit is directly wired into the ECM, it should pick up your odometer, and it does have a V3 GPS box, so it should pick up your location. So right now, this is the odometer mileage, and this is the location. It will choose the nearest location with a population of 5,000 people. That's the city and state it will choose. Notations, definitely have to note everything. So why are you off duty? Why are you on duty, for example? Why are you using PC? Any of those statuses you do have to make a note. Obviously, sleeper berth and drive, you can make a note or not a big deal. Alright, so currently it shows that we're off duty, so if I hit off duty one more time, it will give me the option to go regular off duty and or personal conveyance. So we'll just leave that as it is. Alright, and we're gonna go ahead and select on duty, and we're gonna go on the notation. You click on the white bar right there on the notation part, and it will pop up this keyboard. So we're gonna go PTI. Okay, so we're gonna do our pre-trip inspection. You're gonna hit this back button once because we need to save it, and if you don't save it, nothing has been done. So let's hit back button, and right there you have your save. So let's go ahead and hit save. It's saving, and there you go. It has dropped us down to on duty doing pre-trip inspection. And you will notice the clock has changed a little bit. It's telling me that I have 8 hours before I have to take my 30-minute mandatory DOT rest break. Now the rest break is taken off duty. I know some drivers have done it on duty and it puts them in violation, so definitely make sure that you're off duty during your rest break, and you definitely want to stay off duty for about 31 to 32 minutes just to give the ELD some time to process everything before you start driving. Otherwise, if you leave right at the 30 mark, it may or may not put you in a violation and say that you have not taken your rest break. In that scenario, you definitely want to call the safety department so we can take care of it, and we can go from there. Alright, so the countdown has started. It's showing me on duty for 1 minute. See, the rest break has changed, 70-hour clock has changed, and the 14 has changed. Obviously we haven't been driving, so that's going to stay at 11. Alrighty, so the next thing while we're on duty, let's say we are hooking up a trailer. So the third step is trailer and load details. So let's go ahead and click trailer and load details, and that will bring us to this screen. Currently I'm in asset 6185 with a license plate number of A2AS4N, and you can edit that if that is incorrect. Now, first tab is the trailer tab. There's no current trailers attached, there's no current loads, and there's no dollies. So in order to attach a trailer, you have this plus sign right here on the top screen. So we're gonna hit this plus sign, and you're gonna get to this, add trailer, load a dolly. What do we want to add? So let's go ahead and add a trailer. So we're gonna do trailer, we're gonna hit continue, and it's gonna take us to this screen here. So right now you want to put in your trailer number, and right here you have your number buttons, so it changes to the numbers. Let's go 1 2 3 4 5. License, let's say the license plate is HJU131. Okay, and then it's going to ask you for jurisdiction. So jurisdiction, whatever the registration is for. So mine is Missouri, so we're going to go ahead and select Missouri. And right now you're there. So we have our trailer number, we have our license plate number, and the jurisdiction. We can go ahead and hit save, and that will save the trailer information. So now we have successfully added a trailer to our truck. Alrighty, load details. Once again, you're gonna hit the plus sign here. Middle selection is for load. So we're gonna hit that, and we hit continue. All right, now it's asking you for shipping document, load number, BOL number, whatever you may have. If you have the documents, great. So 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna hit done. Commodity, you can do general freight. Hit done. And shipper, if you know where you are, you can put the shipper in here. So let's say it's Kroger. Done. Alrighty, so now we have our shipping document number, commodity, and shipper information. So we're going to hit the save button. Once again, save, and it's going to stay there. Right, so we have our trailer and license plate number. We have our shipping document, commodity, and shipper information. Now you can edit those by simply clicking on the box next to them, and it's going to take you to this: remove load or update details. Now, as you go on through your week, you can just update details, so that way you have all your load information saved for everything you have done in your 70-hour work week. All right, so that is that. We have that added, so we can hit the back button once, and it's going to take us back to this Z-Log screen. All right, as you can see, it takes a little bit for it to update, but it will update. The reason why it's not updating this quickly is because I was not in that screen, but not to worry, it will catch up to it, and there it is. It's showing us to be on duty for the last 5 minutes now. All right, next thing on the drop-down menu, you have your driving exemption. So the way driving exemption works is you select it, and it's going to ask you driving exemptions, adverse driving condition. You select continue, and it will put you in adverse driving condition, which extends your driving clock another 2 hours, but only and only if you have enough hours to cover the 2-hour driving exemption in your 14-hour day. If your 14 hours is running up and you're stuck in a snowstorm, unfortunately, adverse driving condition will not work. You do have to have time left on your 14 in order to use the adverse driving condition. That is that. Cancel. All right, let's go back down to the drop-down menu. Unidentified driving, we do not have any of those right now, but in case this unit is turned off and you decide to drive, it will register in ground traffic control as unidentified driving. It will tell the safety department who the last driver was on this truck, and you can also verify that the driver is attached to this truck, and you can go ahead and submit those miles back to the driver once stopped. All right, now do keep in mind that once this truck is moving, this unit does lock itself. You cannot use the unit while driving, so in order to use it, you do have to stop if you will need to change statuses or whatever the case may be. We don't have any logs to certify. Now keep in mind, every day you will have at least 1 log to certify, or up to 14 days, and then it's going to force you to certify those logs. Verify edits, so if the safety department has made an edit to your logbook in case of emergencies or GPS and ELD failure, you will see those edits here, and you will be able to edit. Run self-check. If you run that, it'll tell you the diagnostics and health state of the GPS ELD Zonar system. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit the back button. That takes us out of this. Let's go ahead and hit the home button, and here we are at the home screen. We have our messaging, navigation, and our Zonar logs. You see it's counting down 7 hours and 53 minutes before our 30-minute rest break. Now we'll give you a warning 1 hour before you have to shut down for a rest break or a sleeper berth, or your 14 hours is running up. It will give you 1 hour. It does have voice capabilities, so it will talk to you if you have it turned up. If not, it's gonna be on the screen in a red flashing triangle, and it'll tell you exactly what is going on. Alrighty, so this pretty much completes the ELD training. Now, when you do start moving, this is what you will see. You will see the map. It'll switch automatically to the map, and you will see your hours right here on the right hand side. And that is pretty much it. Now, if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to call the safety department, 314-544-7475, and just follow the prompts. And that would complete the ELD Zonar training. Now, it is going to take some hands-on use for you to get used to this ELD system if you have not used Zonar before, but it's definitely an easy unit to use. There shouldn't be too much problems. It does everything pretty much on its own, besides a couple of clicks and buttons. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on your next training class.